Hey YouTube, Dan here from EAP Films Official, and welcome to another reaction video. Now this one is slightly different. It's still singing related, but it's nothing, as far as I'm aware, there's no actual singing in it, per se. And it's called Why Filipinos Are the Best Singers in the World. Because let's be honest, they are, and I've said this time and again, when you see like public singers, you know, singing away, everyone doesn't bat an eyelid. They just kind of stroll on with their day because they see it all the time. And I've said before, it must be so difficult to be separated from that pool of people in the entire country, you know, and because they're all, a lot of them are really good singers, and to be plucked from that, you must be in just the right place at the right time and be incredibly lucky. So I'm not sure who this guy is or what he's going to say, but hopefully he makes a lot of sense. So let's have a listen to what he's got to say.
Why are Filipinos such great singers? Let me give you just a little bit of background on myself before I tell you the 3 reasons that I think Filipinos are such great singers. I have traveled to every country in Asia, except for Nepal. I've never been to Nepal, but every other country, and I've worked with many, if not most, of the best Filipino singers in the world.
Okay, so it's pretty credible then.
Either recording, performing live.
It's like Ogie in the last picture.
Kind of way. And I've seen firsthand what their lifestyles are like, what their family is like, and so I feel like I have a fairly clear perspective on why Filipinos are such great singers. I often see online people commenting, both Filipinos and non-Filipinos, about Filipinos being great singers. You'll often hear Filipinos say, from kind of a point of hubristic pride, Filipinos are the best singers. And then you'll hear foreigners also say, from a similar kind of point of view, well, of course they're a good singer, they're a Filipino. And in both cases, I don't think that it gives credit to the Filipino singer. I think when you come at Filipinos being great singers from the point of view of, oh, they're just automatically great singers because they have some kind of special DNA, it really doesn't give credit to that Filipino singer. And Filipinos do not have any kind of special DNA or genes that makes them better singers than anyone else. I do not believe. The number 3 reason why Filipinos are such great singers, I'm going to call karaoke. Everyone loves to sing, but Filipinos love to sing more than any other people I've ever come across in my life. If you go to most Asian countries, you'll hear people singing karaoke, and karaoke is something fun to go do. But in the Philippines, just about every household has a home karaoke machine, and many of them sing nightly karaoke, and for sure at every single party. So this is something that's just part of people's culture, is to get up and sing live. There's no other.
So I guess that helps train their voices and things.
Singing is such a part of daily life. So because of this karaoke reason and this emphasis and happiness that's centers around live singing, Filipinos get more of a chance to practice singing than any people that I've ever come across. And also just daily, you'll see people walking down the street in the Philippines singing a song, or just sitting there, maybe a security guard while he's on duty singing a Lionel Richie song or something while he's just standing there. So singing is something that's just part of your daily life in the Philippines. And the most important thing when it comes to becoming a great singer is practice. So there is practice built in already into Filipino culture. Now, the number 2 reason why Filipinos are such great singers, Filipinos love 70s and 80s music, where singers were incredible singers. They love the Michael.
That makes perfect sense.
Whitney Houston's and the Bryan Adams, Journey, those people that are the most difficult singers in the world to sing. And in the US, a lot of that music is kind of looked at as cheesy. We think of, you know, the music that a lot of young guys would look up to would be Bruce Springsteen, Bob Dylan, Tom Petty, those guys that really aren't incredible vocalists. And that's more of the music that the average guy would sing.
That's down to the style though, surely, the genre of music.
Those vocalists aren't those top 1% kind of vocalists like Michael Bolton or Steve Perry, Bryan Adams, those kind of guys. So Filipinos generally just gravitate towards that music, and that's the music that they practice singing. And again, whatever you practice is what you become good at. So when you hear a Filipino guy sing a song by Journey, I mean, that's an impressive song. Most other people in the world cannot sing those songs. But because it's so part of Filipino culture and those are the songs that they practice, they're able to sing those incredible songs. Now, the number one reason, and I don't think it's the most important reason, but we're just not doing it in any particular order here, is that within Filipino culture, there are a lot of poorer to middle class people that really see singing as a chance to elevate themselves, both financially and just sort of their status in life. I noticed when I traveled to a lot of other Asian countries, for instance, like China, there were a lot of people that liked singing there, but their parents would kind of say to them, oh no, don't try and be a singer, you should just go to school and just study, study, study. And they didn't encourage that. Versus I noticed within Filipino parents, many of my friends who are the best Filipino singers have very supportive parents who really saw that their child had talent in singing, because within Filipino culture, often you'll help your family out. So when you have someone that has some kind of singing talent and they're doing well with that, when it's nurtured, it helps the entire family. So I noticed that a lot of Filipino families, when they discovered this talent, they would think to themselves, you could make money with this. You could get a job abroad performing in a club or some kind of music venue and make really great money, even if you don't become famous. And you'll be able to send it back to us. And
that's true.
It will help the entire family. And so I think that's a big reason, and that's a reason why you see amazing Filipino bands all over the world, is that they're out there helping and supporting their family. Singing is looked at as an opportunity to actually help the family. Not to everyone, I'm not saying that there aren't any parents that don't discourage their kids and say, no, just go to school and study. But generally, it's looked at as being a positive thing and something that you actually should go for and achieve if you have some kind of talent. Versus most other cultures around the world, I've noticed that music isn't so much seen as a positive thing that their child should go for as a full-time profession. I'm happy that all those reasons come together to make so many great Filipino singers, because it's really my pleasure to be able to collaborate with them.
Do you know what? It's not wrong now you're thinking about it. It does make a lot of sense. I mean, karaoke, as I said before, I've learned a lot about the Filipinos through you guys and letting me know about your cultures and lifestyles and things like that. And karaoke being such a huge part of that, I can really see that, like he says, practice, practice, practice. Makes perfect sense. Also, going to what he said about the song choices, people who, the artists that you guys seem to love are the ones that sing huge ballads and have big voices. And if you're practicing that, it does help with your range, and it just helps with your range. And you start singing those sort of songs, there's probably not a lot you can't really sing. The support part of it, I don't have too much experience with that, but I know I can say that from your hospitalities, the way that we interact with each other, I can see that you're the friendliest people probably in the world, and that rubs off on everybody else. I think you start talking to people like they're your best friends and stuff, you just can't help but love you. And with the family support, I mean let's take Fourth Impact for example. Knew nothing about them. They did the X Factor in the UK, and they didn't win it, but they got really far in it. And now look at them; they've got their albums. They're starting to do a lot of touring and stuff, which is great. But I didn't know that they had a few different names in the past, and they've joined so many competitions. But it's all about exposure. Let's take another example. My uncle recently went on a cruise to the Caribbean, and he said that when he was on the cruise ship, some of the entertainment on the evening were Filipinos. And this is the Caribbean. Did I mention the Caribbean already? Been to the Caribbean. So long way from home for the Filipinos, but they worked on the cruise ships. They sang every night, and they were. He said to me, they were absolutely brilliant. Not only were they brilliant, But he got chatting to one of the girls that works on the ship, who was Filipino. And I don't know if she sang. I think she was the same. I think she's one of the singers as well. But during the day, she was just your waitress or whatever. And she apparently was so friendly and made them feel so warm and welcome. And he said to me, God, they're so friendly. The Filipinos are so wonderful, such nice people. And I kept going, yes, I know. I speak to them every day, pretty much, you know, for the last 7 months. I see it, and it's, you know, firsthand what you guys are like. You're so friendly, such beautiful people. 2 things come out of that is the support, the friendliness, and, you know, the ability to sing as well. But the fact that you've got people moving to the UK to do the X Factor, you've got people working on cruise ships also singing as well, because it's a way that they can use their voices to propel themselves for some success, and if not, for people's enjoyment. They can still use their voices for enjoyment, and, you know, with a job like the cruise ship, and if they send money back home to help support the family, then that's what they do. So I think he's pretty much nailed the 3. I couldn't think of the 3rd reason before he said it, but now he said it, it makes complete sense. So that's why Filipinos are the best singers in the world. And it must be so difficult, as I've said before, to be plucked out of that pool and be recognised. You know, you need a video to go viral. I think that's what helped Katrina. Although I know she did a few competitions, maybe, I don't know. If only we had the secret ingredients, then, you know, you guys could flourish and you'd all be famous. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed my reaction. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.